Hey everyone, C-Dub here, and it's almost a year since God of War came out. And it came out on 420, hopefully nothing to do with the weed, but that's what I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to celebrate the year anniversary of this game, and I'm going to just review it. So here we go. So, I started God of War a long time actually after it came out, probably in the PS3 days, when God of War 1 and 2 was out. Or had been out, and I had to get the collection, and I played both of them. Loved the game instantly, mainly because I didn't get a PS3 till it was like way later in its time, and it had already been out, and I got it really late, and then I eventually got a PS3, and I couldn't get it because, backwards compatibility, not on the PS3, and I didn't have that one with it, so yeah, I couldn't play it, and eventually they released the collection, and I could finally play it. And man, did I miss out. There was so much great things about this game. Loved the gameplay. Loved it. The gameplay is different from the first three to now. And to me, the gameplay from the first three were way better than this one. This one is more story driven. Not that it's a bad thing. The game is definitely still, to me, a great game. It maybe was the game of the year. I'd have to really go through each game for it. And anyway, this game, to me, very story-based. Not that the gameplay was bad, it just is completely different. So if you never played a God of War, let's just say that the gameplay is going to be very different from the previous three. This gameplay is much slower, it's a much slower pace. The other three are really fast, you can do a lot more. There's a lot more weapons, a lot more other different attacks. This one, they have some different variety of attacks, but mainly the axe. You get the chains of Olympus or whatever it's called, and that's pretty much it. You also get some magic stuff with Atreus, and you can use some of those and sometimes stoppage things. So you do get some magic. But to me, the first three, they had so much shit. Yeah, we only get one weapon, but you do a lot with that weapon, a lot more combos and stuff like that. And like I said, it's just much faster. I just like that style more. But I really want to talk about the story of this, because that's to me where this shines more than the God of Wars. Because we never really cared about the story in the other God of Wars. It's usually, we gotta just beat this one villain, whether it be Ares or Zeus. That's pretty much it, just beat the villain. Yeah, there were stories and other stuff behind it, but while you're playing it, you really don't care as much, because you're just so focused on the action that the story kind of gets left behind, not that the story was bad. In this one, we have a son now, and it's kind of like going through all the past and your past mistakes. He's much older, and this Kratos is very different than the one from the previous three, which he should be because it's a new thing and a new generation. I'm still pissed though that they couldn't just call this God of War 4. Why does everything gotta be just redoing a title? Like, now we gotta ask, which God of War? Was it the first one or the PS4 one? Which God of War? Why couldn't you just call it God of War fucking 4? Jesus fucking Christ. Get your fucking titles right. Just number. I'm tired of remakes and shit like that. Can't you just say 1 through whatever? Why do you always gotta remake shit? It's that same shit with comics. That's just low rant. Like, just keep your fucking numbers. Stop giving me all these number ones. Like, The Amazing Spider-Man. Which number one? Which one? There's been like 4 or 5 of them. Which of them? Which one of them? Same thing with The Punisher. All this shit. Like, why can't we just have one fucking number one title and then they're just numbered throughout? I mean, I know why, but let me just get back on topic, because that's a whole different thing. So yeah, the story is pretty much now we're trying to scatter Atreus' mother's ashes, and we're going to meet this one villain named, I think, Baldur. And Baldur, to me, he is the lowest of the villains, but he has the most story behind it, if that makes sense. Like, he's the lowest of the villains. Obviously, Ares and I think Zeus is definitely better villains, but he does cool for what it is, and I think the next God of War, when they introduce Thor and stuff, Odin, that's when the villain's going to step up. But anyway, Baldur is kind of a tragic type of villain, which we don't really get that from the other gods. I mean, somewhat tragic, but not as much as Baldur's is. Because not being able to feel and not being able to touch anyone, that's a pretty tragic thing to have. And when Kratos couldn't even give him that, yeah. Anyway, his psyche kind of evaporates over time and stuff like that. And it really drives him fucking crazy. But the thing that really got me in this question is, was it Kratos' decision to kill him at the end? Because the mother was willing to die at the end. This is spoilers for it, obviously. So I'll put that in the title. But the mother was willing to die for him. And Kratos stopped him because I don't know why Kratos stopped him. That's my thing. Like, I don't think it was Kratos' right to stop him. Maybe because he saw the decisions that he made and he wanted to stop him. But I don't think that's your right to do. After all the shit you done. Like, if it was Atreus who killed him, like, no, I'm not going to let you do this because the cycle might continue of sons just becoming monsters and fathers becoming monsters, all that stuff. So I can see if Atreus did it, even though he couldn't probably because he's a child. But Kratos, to me, he doesn't get to make that decision. You don't get to insert yourself into that, especially after all the shit that you've done. You don't get to make that decision. I know other people were validating Kratos' decision to kill him, but it's not about him being right or wrong. It's the fact that you've done so much wrong. You don't get to make that right. You don't get to kill Baldur for that. Because I believe Baldur would have left him alone. People were saying he might have came back after him. I don't think he would. I think after he finally could feel and stuff and he realized Kratos was superior, I think he would have left him alone. I really do. I don't see why he would go after him. Even he said, like, you could have walked away. And he came back and killed him. And now you got Freya who's pissed. Freya fucked up, by the way. That's another topic. She really, really fucked up. Badly on the sun. But if she's willing to die for it, and he's willing to kill her, and I know you're scared of him becoming what you did, but to me, you don't get to make that decision. That's not your decision to make. After all the bad and evil shit that you've done. Like you said, you kill people who haven't deserved it and people who have. So you don't get to make that decision. If it was someone else, I believe that decision could have been made. That was my main topic for that. Like, I don't know if that was the right decision. Well, let me say, it was the right decision, but it's not the decision that he should be able to make. And I just want to know if you guys think Kratos should have made that decision or not. Let me know. Anyway, that was my main topic, and that's really the main question I wanted to ask, and I just wanted to give a whole in-depth, well, sort of in-depth review of God of War from a year later, and a year's later perspective. So yeah, I think I covered everything I needed to cover. Let me know what you think. C-Dub out. Peace.